the Pendlay Row. As I get set up for the Pendlay Row, I want to make sure my feet are about hip width. Maybe a little more narrow, maybe a little wider, but be sure that it's not too wide that they interfere with your arms. You can do over grip or under grip, and this is one of those exercises I prefer to do with my arms a little wider as well. So if you have rings on your bar, I personally like to line up my index finger and do under grip with this exercise. Once you get into the position, you want to make sure you have a decent knee bend, a hip hinge, flat back by keeping your core tight, and make sure you do a little bit of a twist the ground motion. Not so much that your knees bow out, but enough to where you're keeping all of your leg and glute muscles engaged to support your back as you do the Pendlay Row. It can be very tempting to stand up too far with the Pendlay Row, but you want to stay in a hinge as much as you can. So as I lift, first thing I'm going to do is bring my shoulders back and down, pack my lats, and when I go for the lift, I'm aiming towards my belly button. This slight rise here is from my glutes pulling me up, not arching my back. So be very careful. Make sure you keep the core tight as you hinge up and down. So when I come up, I'm going to lift to the belly button, back to the floor in one fluid motion. If you bend your knees, you can try to stay on the heels a little more or even straighten up those legs as long as you're able to maintain the hinge. This is one of those positions that's different for everybody. If you need to put weights underneath the side of the weights or boxes, feel free to bring you more upright if you feel impinged in the hips. As I bring the bar back to the ground, I want to slightly release my grip. That way my whole body isn't getting jarred from what the bar is doing. I'm going to slightly open up my hands. I try to keep my index and my thumb together so I don't lose track of the bar.